Part 1. A World United. Good evening, dear listener. As you settle into your space for rest, let your breathing slow, let your mind drift gently. Like a leaf on still water, feel the world quiet around you. Tonight we journey far back in time, before the world was divided by language or nation, back to when all people lived together, spoke the same tongue, and shared the same land. Close your eyes and imagine it. A vast plain stretches under an open sky, the land of Shinar. The air is warm and clear, and the sound of laughter and conversation fills the air. People work side by side. No borders, no arguments over words, just a single language, spoken by all. Their voices are filled with excitement. They are builders, planners, dreamers. The world is theirs to shape, and they have a vision, one that will reach the heavens. Come, one says, let us build a city, and in it, a tower so tall, it will reach the sky itself. Let us make a name for ourselves. Let us never be scattered across the earth. And so they begin. Imagine the scene, bustling streets filled with people carrying bricks made of baked clay, fires burning night and day to make more. The sun gleams off smooth stone, and wooden scaffolding stretches higher and higher. Every hand has a part to play. Children carry water to cool the workers. Young men mix clay. Women shape bricks and pass them along in endless rhythm. The tower rises, steady, proud, unstoppable. There's no arguing, no confusion. Everyone understands. One language, one purpose, one people. But above it all, something watches. The Creator who once scattered the waters and shaped the mountains sees the tower rising. And though the people's work is strong, something else is growing too. Pride. As the tower climbs, so do their hearts, not toward heaven, but away from it. Let that image stay with you. People united, building higher and higher, not realizing what's coming. And let your thoughts rest easy as we prepare to follow this story further. Part 2. The Tower Rises. Welcome back, dear listener. Let yourself sink deeper into calm, your breath steady, your body relaxed. We return now to the land of Shinar, where the tower reaches ever higher. Days pass, then weeks, then months. The city grows wide, and the tower grows tall. The people are proud of their work. They say, look at what we have built. Nothing is impossible for us. They do not thank the earth for its clay. They do not thank the sky for its sun. They do not look to the one who gave them language, breath, and life. They look only at their tower. And yet, it is impressive. Imagine it layers of smooth brick, the walls pressed perfectly together, stone platforms rising in spirals, wood beams lifting the next levels into place. People climb, haul, shape, and place. They eat together, sleep near the worksite, talk about how high they'll go. Some say the tower will touch the sky. Others say they'll build until they can see where God lives. Still, there is no arguing. Everyone speaks the same language. Plans are shared easily. Instructions passed clearly. No confusion, just motion, unity, and ambition. But something quiet begins to change. Imagine the Creator once more, watching, listening, not angry, but deeply aware. The people were meant to spread across the earth, to fill it, to care for it. But here they are, gathered in one place, not seeking closeness to God, but power for themselves. A decision is made, not to destroy, not to punish, but to slow them, to remind them. One night the city sleeps peacefully. The tower glows orange under the moonlight. The fires still burning in the brick kilns. The stars shine above, silent, waiting. And when morning comes, the world will change. Part 3. Confusion begins. The sun rises over Shinar. Another day of building, another day of pride. But something is different. The workers gather. The team leaders shout instructions, but the words sound strange. One man frowns. Another blinks. A woman laughs awkwardly. They try again, but the meaning is gone. A man points to a stack of bricks. His partner just stares, confused. A woman asks for more mortar, but the boy next to her hears only sounds he doesn't recognize. Voices rise, sharper now, not in anger yet, just frustration. Then confusion, then tension. Imagine being there. You speak clearly, but no one around you understands. You wave your hands. You point. You try again. Nothing works. The workers stop working. Tools drop. The rhythm breaks. Some walk away shaking their heads. Others gather in small groups, realizing they can still understand each other, but not anyone else. Something invisible has split them, not their skin, not their work, just their speech. And with language lost, the great project comes to a halt. The tower looms above them, silent, half-finished, strong, but abandoned. The people gather their things. They form groups, those who still share the same words, and one by one they begin to leave. Some to the north, others to the south, some to the sea, some to the forests. They scatter, not in anger, but in necessity. The land of Shinar, once full of laughter and motion, grows quiet. The fires in the kilns go out. The bricks are left stacked. The tools are left behind. And the tower stands alone, a monument to ambition and to forgetting where wisdom comes from. Part 4. Scattered across the earth. The tower fades behind them. Step by step, the people walk away. Small groups move out in every direction, carrying what they can: tools, supplies, pieces of the old life. Their eyes are tired, their hearts unsure, but they walk. Some follow rivers, others head toward forests or hills. Some settle near oceans, and others just keep moving. Their words are different now, and though they don't fully understand why, they know this change is permanent. Imagine the quiet miles they travel, families walking for days, sharing what little they can, strangers becoming neighbors, not because of language, but because of survival. In time they build again, but smaller, slower. A new kind of life, new customs, new names, new ways of doing things, but always the memory of the place they left, of the tower, of the moment when everything changed. And though they can't speak of it to everyone, they carry the story in other ways, through drawings, through songs, through silence. They tell their children of a city where everyone once spoke the same words, of a tall tower, built with pride, and of the day the voices broke apart. The earth begins to fill again, just as it was meant to. Villages become towns, towns become cities. People multiply, build, trade, move, but now they are many. Many tongues, many lands, many dreams, and far away the tower still stands, empty, weathered by wind and rain, a reminder, not of failure, but of limits, of the need for humility, of the power of words and the gift of difference. Part 5. The tower left behind. Time passes, seasons change. The land of Shinar becomes quiet again. Grass begins to grow between the bricks. Vines curl around the wooden scaffolding. The once busy city is now still. Birds nest in the cracks of the tower's walls. Imagine walking through it now. The tower, once filled with voices and motion, now stands in silence. You step through abandoned streets. Tools lie where they were dropped. Bricks remain stacked but unused. And the tower itself, massive, reaching, unfinished, leans into the sky like a question never answered. It doesn't crumble. It doesn't fall. But it waits. Not for completion, not for more builders, but for understanding. The silence around the tower speaks louder than all the voices once did. It tells a story, one of pride, one of unity twisted toward self-glory, one of a gentle correction, not destruction. And it reminds anyone who finds it that greatness is not just about building tall things. It's about remembering why we build and for whom. Not everything built with strength is built with wisdom. Imagine standing at the base of that tower, your hand resting on the warm stone. You feel its weight, its history, its pause, and you understand. Sometimes the greatest gift is not being able to finish what we started, so we can learn to start again, differently. Part 6. The gift of language. The people are scattered now, living far from Shinar, speaking in many voices, but something beautiful begins to happen. New languages grow into new cultures. New rhythms, new songs, new stories. Imagine a campfire in a forest clearing. A father tells his children a story in a language no one in Shinar ever knew. He uses his hands, his tone, his pauses. The fire flickers. The children listen. A new way of understanding is born. Far away by the sea, a woman sings as she weaves cloth. Her song is soft and her words are old, but in them is comfort, memory, beauty. Another language, another music. The breaking of one voice into many wasn't a curse. It was a scattering of seeds. Each language carries a part of the old story, but adds to it, shapes it, colors it. And through these languages people learn patience. You cannot rush a conversation when you must learn someone else's words. You must listen longer. Speak more carefully. Look into eyes. Point. Gesture. Laugh. Real connection becomes slower, but deeper. The people begin to trade, to learn each other's ways, to blend sounds, mix ideas. They teach and borrow and grow. One voice became many, and the many begin to find each other again, not by pride, but through curiosity, through humility, through listening. The tower is gone from their lives, but the lesson continues to live in every word spoken since. Part 7. God's wisdom in the scatter. Now, let your mind drift back just for a moment to the beginning, when the world had one language, one people, one voice. It sounds perfect, simple, peaceful. But even unity can go wrong when pride grows, when people forget who gave them life. That's why the scattering wasn't punishment. It was protection. God didn't break their tower in anger. He slowed their climb, gently, wisely. He changed their words so they would remember to listen, to depend, to discover again. Imagine a parent seeing a child reach too high, too fast, not to crush the child's dream, but to guide it, to say, "Slow down, you're not ready yet, but one day you will be." That's what the Tower of Babel became. A moment of pause, a redirection, and in time the people learned. They didn't rebuild that tower, but they built new things. Cities filled with color and music, languages shaped by the land, traditions passed down from one mouth to another, generation after generation. They learned to seek the sky, not with bricks, but with prayer, with song, with wonder, and in all their differences there was still one Creator. Psalm, one God, watching over many voices, many paths. You see, the scattering didn't divide humanity. It prepared it. It made space for every culture to bloom. It was the beginning of a world full of color, story, and sound. And that in itself was a kind of unity. Part 8. Remembering the tower. Years turn into centuries. The story of the tower fades from memory for many, but not completely. Some still tell it. Around fires, in poems, through carvings on stone, in different words, different sounds, but the message stays. There was a time we all spoke one tongue. We tried to reach heaven, but we forgot the one who made it. Now imagine hearing that story as a child. Your elder's voice low and steady. Maybe you don't understand every detail, but the feeling stays with you. It becomes part of who you are. Even in the most distant villages where no one remembers the name Shinar, something lingers, a sense of where we came from, a quiet thread connecting the voices of the earth. And some begin to ask questions. Why did God scatter us? Why so many tongues? Why not let us finish what we started? But with time and silence, understanding comes, because sometimes what we build in pride must be stopped, so we can build in love later. Sometimes we must lose one voice to find 1,000 songs. The Tower of Babel isn't just a story about language, it's about direction. The people thought they were climbing up, but they had stopped looking up, so the words were changed, and the direction was reset. Now as people wander and wander, they carry more than bricks. They carry stories, and stories, unlike towers, can reach hearts, not just skies. Part 9. One day, together again. The world is full now, full of voices, languages, songs. People live in every corner of the earth, from icy mountains to hot deserts, from quiet islands to crowded cities, and each one carries a piece of that old story. Not always in words, sometimes in rhythm, in patterns, in questions passed down. And still, across all the noise, the Creator listens. He sees the variety not as confusion, but as beauty. Every tongue is known. Every voice is heard. And though people are different, scattered, they still look to the sky. They still wonder. Still ask, why are we here? What connects us? Is there more beyond what we see? One day, the world will be united again, not by one language, not by one tower, but by understanding. Not forced, not rushed, not built in pride, but born from listening, from waiting, from choosing peace. Imagine that world. A marketplace filled with voices of all kinds, laughing, bargaining, singing, and yet no one is left out. People speak differently, but understand one another through patience, through care. No one needs to be the same, because unity isn't sameness, it's harmony. And slowly, piece by piece, we return, not to one language, but to one purpose. Not to climb into heaven with bricks, but to live with heaven in our hearts. Part 10. Sleep beneath the story. And now, dear listener, you rest at the edge of this ancient tale. Let your body sink a little deeper into calm. Your breath is slow. The night is quiet. The tower still stands somewhere in memory, not as stone, but as story. A story told in many voices, across time, across lands. It doesn't need to be finished, because its lesson already is. We were never meant to climb into heaven with bricks. We were meant to bring heaven closer through love, through humility, through wonder. The people at Babel wanted to make a name for themselves, but you don't need to. You already have one, given by the one who knows every voice. So tonight, as the world sleeps, under different stars in different languages, you are not alone. You are part of a bigger design, a beautiful one. You don't need to understand every word, or speak perfectly, or build something huge. You just need to be here, to rest, to breathe, to remember.